Okay, welcome back everybody. Just dawned on me that even though I have a tutorial up on how to speed ramp using Davinci Resolve up on YouTube, it occurred to me that I haven't updated it since I updated to Davinci Resolve 21. I think that one was for Davinci Resolve 19, if I'm not mistaken. So there's been a few changes regarding speed ramping and where to find the keyframes and all that kind of stuff. So just wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to do that using Davinci Resolve 21. So I was up at Crankworks in Whistler a few weeks ago and shot some footage using the GoPro. And I shot a few clips at 60 frames per second and a few at 120 frames per second. So I just wanted to kind of go over how to slow that footage down and do a bit of a speed ramp where the rider is coming into the clip at regular speed and then slowing it down in the peak of the action and then going back to regular speed. So I just have this clip here. Where's the rider coming off one of the jumps and then out into the rest of the trail. So first thing, same process as before. What you want to do is your project. I always have my project set to, let's go to project settings here. Even though it's 4K footage, I always do my timeline at 1920 by 1080 just because it doesn't bog down my computer too much. And 24 frames per second is my timeline. So you just kind of want to keep that the same. So first thing you do is you right click on the clip itself in your media bin, go to clip attributes. You can see that it was shot at 59.94 frames per second. You want to drop that down to 24. What that'll do is automatically just slow the footage down. So if I were to scrub through this, I kind of want to get him coming into the clip here. I want to add an in point to the clip here. I'm just going to scrub through to the end of where I want it to kind of go through and maybe to there. I'm going to put my out point there. Now I'm only going to drag the footage, not the audio, down to the timeline, because if you drag the audio down, the audio doesn't slow down. It's regular speed. So it's only going to match up with the beginning part of the video, and then you're just going to have blank dead airspace after that. So usually what I do with my clips is I usually put music to them anyway, so I don't really include the audio. So you just click on the video clip, drag it down to the timeline. We're going to expand that out a little bit. So if we play this back, it's slowed down to 24 frames per second. Everything looks pretty smooth, pretty good. So now we have this slowed down clip here. Everything is slow motion, but I need to speed up the beginning and the end of it. So what you want to do is you want to retime it. So Control R. And then because this is 60 frames per second, or shot at 60 frames per second, and I'm slowing it down to 24 frames per second, that's just over 200%, right? So right now it's at 100%, so I want to slow it down to just over 200%. So you kind of click somewhere here in this blue area here, and you drag it down, and you can see the percentage sign at the bottom there going up. So you can kind of bring it all the way up to there. I've determined that 210 is a pretty good regular speed percentage. But what you can also do is you can reset it to 100. You can also just click on this little arrow down here, click on change speed, and these are some of the defaults here. Now this will come in handy when we do the 120 frames, but you can click on that to 200, and then you can bring it over down to say 210 there, right? So now if we play it, it's going to play at regular speed, right? So it's back up to regular speed. So now we have to add the slow-mo bits. So you scrub through it to where you want the slow-mo to start. I want it to start right around there. Click on the little down arrow there, add a speed point, and then just sort of scrub through with your arrow keys to where you want the slow-mo to end. And I usually like to end it just before they kind of touch down, right? So right about there. Same thing, click on the down arrow, add a speed point, and this center section here, right? This is where you want to slow back down to 100%. So you click on the down arrow, change speed to 100%. So right now, It's going to go regular speed, slow-mo, back to regular speed. But there, where these 2 points are, it's a very harsh cutoff, right? Like it's just fast, slow, fast, right? So what you want to do is you want to kind of ease those in and out, right? So go up here to your keyframe. This is where it changes from Davinci 19 to 21. This is a little bit different. Click on keyframes and it will bring up this whole thing here. Now these are all of the different sort of speed points and keyframes that you've added to your clip, right? These are the ones that we're interested in, where it says speed. If you click on this little undock here up at the top, right, what it'll do is it'll bring up a pop-up box, right, your keyframe editor. Right? And this is where it really differs from the old one. The other one used to be completely different. Easiest way to do this is here's your in, right? This is where it goes regular speed, down to slow motion, back up to regular speed. We want to kind of ease those in and out so it's not as definitive or harsh of a transition. So I found that if you just kind of click here and just kind of highlight all of these keyframes or key points, right? And then right up here you have a few options, right? You have your linear, you have your ease in, you got your ease out, and then you have your ease in and ease out. This is the one we want, the ease in, ease out. You click on that, it changes everything. So now it's like a really slow ease in and then a really slow ease out. That's too much for us. We want to kind of have a ease in and an ease out, but still kind of like fast, slow, fast kind of thing. So the easiest way to do that is on these little handles here. These ones here on the outside will control the ease in and the ease out. So if you click on that, you drag that in, you can kind of see that it's affecting the ease out. Same thing on this one. You want to kind of just click and drag. I like that kind of somewhat harsh corner, but not too harsh, right? Click that in, and then these ones here on the inside affect the action that's in your slow-mo bit. So the same thing, we kind of want to click and drag it out so we get a little bit of more of a harsher corner, but not too harsh. Same thing here, we want to kind of bring that out so it's relatively even. So now we have a little bit more of a fast, slow to fast, but a little bit more less jarring, right? So that looks all right. We're going to go ahead and close that. If you want to kind of keep this open, you can. I find that because it covers the viewer window, it kind of gets in the way, but we'll leave it open just to kind of see. So we'll start back here, scrub it through. So it's a little bit smoother as far as the in and out goes, right? And there you have it. That's that. We can close that. Just hit the X there. So now we have this lovely 60 frames per second slowed down to 24 frames per second with a bit of an ease and out on it. Simple, super easy. So now we're going to do the same thing with the 120 frames per second one. We're going to go back to the media pool. I have this clip here. Same deal. It's of a rider coming down the hill and then doing a little whip. Right, we're going to kind of, as he's coming through. Now this one's kind of cool because he really holds this whip for a long time, which makes it super dramatic. Right, so we're going to kind of wait till he kind of comes at the top of this hill here, right there, so we can kind of see him. Our little in point. And we're going to wait till he kind of goes a little, riding out a little bit. All right, so you'll notice this one when we drag it down to the timeline because it's 120 frames per second. If we go to the clip attributes, you'll see it says custom, right? That means it's 120 frames per second because this only goes up to 60. Anything over 60 frames is going to show as custom. So you just want to change that video frame rate down to 24. Click OK. And now, because we've set our in and out points, we're going to click this down. Now you'll notice that when we drag this one down to the timeline, it's going to be a lot longer because we've slowed it down considerably more, right, than say the 60 frames per second one. So we're going to drag that down. There you go. Super long. And this is why it's important to not include the audio, because the audio would really only take up this portion of the section here. And then you'd have a bunch of just dead space with no audio on it, right? So same thing, we're going to change this back to regular speed because right now it's like super slow motion. as you can see. I'm going to hit that play button. And it's cool as is, but you want to kind of add that speed ramp, right? So super smooth, really good, awesome, 24 frames per second, right? But what we want to do is we want to hit the Control R, and we're going to retime it. Now, because this is 120 frames per second, slowed down to 24 frames per second, it is considerably more than the 200% that we sped this one up. It's more like 480, right? That's kind of the number that I've come up with that looks the closest, right, to regular speed. So we're going to just hit the down arrow there, change it to 400, and then we're going to custom drag this into like around 480. I'd say 475, right? So now if we play that back, it's going to look closer to regular speed. Maybe a little quick. Maybe let's drop it down to like 460. 450. Yeah, 450. That looks pretty good. Might even slow it down a little bit. Maybe 430. 429. It's not an exact science because these clips are so short that if you're doing them as like a compilation in something, it's just kind of blend in. So for this one, we've determined that 430 is good, but now we need to add our speed points. So we're going to let it go fast, and then right about here is where we're going to start slowing it down. Add speed point, drag it through to where you want it to end. You can toggle with your arrows, or you can just drag it with your mouse. Now we want it to be regular speed right about there, just before he touches down. Add a speed point, change that to 100. And now we've got cool, fast, slow, and then fast. But you'll see that this one, because it's going from regular speed back down to super slow motion, that transition from regular speed to slow-mo is a lot more noticeable. It's like a harsh cliff that clip just jumped off of. So we really need to ramp that or change the transition, right? So we're gonna do that. We're gonna hit our keyframes up at the top here. We're gonna hit this little undock because it makes it easier. I find that it does. We're gonna highlight these things. Just click and drag to highlight all of them. Hit that in, ease out. Drag your little handles so that you make a corner. I like to call it a corner, but not a super harsh corner. Click on that one. Same thing. And this is, I like to say it's seasoned to taste. You can play around with these. It's not an exact science, but I just kind of like a little bit more of a gradual ease in and ease out on that. If you need to make it bigger, you can just click on this. Or if you want to see your handles a little more detailed, you can click on this slider bar at the top there, and it'll kind of expand it out. So I kind of want to bring that in a little bit. All right, yeah, looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and close that, and we're going to see what that did. So fast, slow, back to fast. That first one is a little bit harsh still. I'm gonna, yeah, okay. If you need to go back again, just hit the keyframes, undock. This one is a little bit too harsh for me, so I'm going to just expand that out. And I'm just gonna kind of drag it a little bit. Oops. Drag it out a little bit to kind of soften it. There we go. I'll close that. See what that looks like. There we go. And back to regular speed. There you go. Super simple. Again, to recap, in your media pool, find your clips, right click, clip attributes, change it down to 24 frames per second. Find your in and out points on your clip. In this case, I've got them here and here. drag that down to the timeline, retime it, add speed points, do your speed ramp. Fine and dandy. So I'm going to go ahead and export these, and then we're going to see what they look like. I'm just going to put them together as one clip. All right. Looks pretty good. That's the 120. That looks pretty good as well. Simple. A few changes, same process, just a few changes with Davinci Resolve 21. So just I wanted to put this video up just to kind of go over that. Hope you like this. If you got something out of this, let me know in the comments. If you dig videos like this, hit the like button. It helps out the channel immensely. I'm trying to grow it a little bit more. And if you want to see more videos like this, just hit the subscribe button. Appreciate all of you. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.